Oh, Biggie stories. Man, there's a few of them, but one I remember him extorting Puffy for money all the time. That was classic. Like, this led to Biggie end up selling Junior Mafia and Lil Kim to Puffy. This was becoming ongoing thing because Big was doing shows to get his money, but what he would do is they'd get the room, his manager and all them would set up everything for him. And then he'll do the show, and he'll take the money, trick that money off, and blow it. And he was, living like a kid, basically, just doing what he do. One time he went to Atlantic City, took some broad to Atlantic City, took some boys with him, and they went up there to Atlantic City, kicked it. He was gambling on the dice table, and he lost a lot of money. Put it that way. I don't know how much exactly the money was, but he lost it. So they went back. They was like, man, Big, ain't nothing. So they went back, and he didn't want to kick it too much. He just wanted to go lounge back at the hotel with old girl. So he was like, man, I need some skunk. And he was like calling up his mans, and like, man, we need some more skunk over here. So his mans is like, yo, hit me off with the loot. I go pick it up. And the dude's like, man, all the money I give you, man, you ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? I asked you to pick up skunk. I'm supposed to just hit you off every time. Man, go get the skunk, man, bring it back. So he wanted to go get it. He had to pay out his pocket, his boy. But Big was short. So they had a show, I think, a couple of days after. This was like right before the show. And Big told Puff, Diddy, like, yeah, man, you ready to go do the show? Big, like, I ain't doing nothing till I get paid first. He was, man, what you mean, man? We got the people there, man. I'm not coming to the show until I get paid. I need this. And you ain't hit me back. Man, Puff would be arguing with him back and forth. Man, how you gonna do me like this, man? What you gonna do, man? Why are we here, man? we professionals, man. We not on the corner. So Puff, he get mad at man, but he had at the end of the day, he had somebody run over there and give him that money. He was like, man, run this over to Big, man. I can't see him right now. Just run over there and get it to him, so he can go ahead and we can do this show, man. So they go and do the show. He run the same thing again. Whenever there was time for a show. So Puff came up with the idea, like, look, sell me your shares of Lil Kim and Junior Mafia, and I'll give you $1 million. Flat. Because I'm not finna continuously do this, man. That's why you heard Big on so many remixes. Big was just amazing. One, but he had to come up with a way where Biggie could make money outside of doing shows, because Big kept hitting him up and extorting him for cash. So he had to keep Biggie busy. He was like, I gotta keep you working, because every time you ain't working, you getting something. Because Puff was getting frustrated, he kept coming back asking for that bread. So for $1 million, he bought the Junior Mafia rights, and he bought the rights to Lil Kim. So that was it. It was done. So Ideas was basically a done deal. Now it belonged to Puffy, and it belonged to Un at the time. Puff had bought Big's share out of the company for $1 million. So Big was living big then. He was a millionaire, flossing and doing his thing. But now he wanted to be smarter with his money. because he was spending money recklessly. Like going from doing a check for check type thing. So Puff is a good dude. Don't get me wrong. Puff, a lot of people think, like, man, you ain't, no, Puff's a good dude. Like I said, y'all get things wrong and twisted sometimes. It's just that when you're dealing with a bunch of young black men who've never ever dealt with business before in their life, and you are a educated businessman who actually graduated from Harvard, you know, and got a degree from Harvard, it's not like he lucked up on the position and made something. You understand a lot more about the world than these guys do. These guys have probably never really been off their block. They probably went down south to visit their family in the summertime, and that's probably the only time they've been out of the city. So they don't see the world. They don't understand how these things work. So trying to educate them on business is a very difficult thing and hard process, to teach these people. See, the education system is not designed to send them out to the world educated on finances and life, not for the African American schools where they're poverty stricken. They don't teach them financial responsibilities in school. They just teach them get a job, go work, make some money. That's it. And pay your bills. So that's it. So the system has failed them and didn't work for them. So Diddy had to deal with a lot of artists who didn't understand the number game. Like the Locks, for example. You see how they was disgruntled? So it's a clear example of what to do in these situations and how to approach it. Biggie grew. In that short period of time, he grew up fast in the business game. And then he started to see the other side and was like, okay, now it's making some sense. Like now we could really, do something. So he had big plans. He was going to start managing more and becoming on the side where Puffy is. He was like, I'll write for artists and I'll manage them. And he became Puffy's manager. That was his idea. He was like, you gonna be my artist. I'm gonna sign you. So he's like, that's dope. I'm gonna write for you and you gonna have the dopest stuff on the street. So he was already writing for Lil C's, Lil Kim, Puffy. Look, he basically writing already. So Big was getting ready to hit the managerial side of the business. Heavy. He already had those ideas, but he just did it because it was he was going in on some ownership and they was going to do their little thing, but he didn't have any business acumen about the thing. So, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, that was funny, man. He used to be hitting Puff up for that bread, and Puffer had to pay it. So that Big could go and perform. Puff wasn't going to continuously do this. This had to stop. But yeah, this is just one of many Biggie tales, man. A lot of people know this stuff already, but for the younger people who may not have known, want to hear it and stuff like that, this is for y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to your boy Carcino. And I'm on Twitter at Carcino, on Instagram at Carcino. And I'm out. Have a safe day.